Hello everyone, this is 2X Excel here, and I will be teaching you how to learn Microsoft Excel today. So in my last video, I covered the vocab part, and learning the vocab for anything that you're trying to learn is crucial. Some of the vocab you learn along the way, and that's fine, but you need to understand the basic words and their meanings before you start something. And once you do that, you can move on to the tutorial. And doing the tutorials in Microsoft Excel will provide you with a basic understanding of its program and functions, and I'll be covering the first tutorial today. So when you come to Microsoft Excel, you'll notice it has a home screen, new screen, open screen. So you want to go to the new screen, and it'll provide you with some templates. So the one that we're going to be doing today is Welcome to Excel. Click on it, then hit Create. Take a tour. In 10 steps, you'll be up and running with Excel, the world's most popular spreadsheet app. So let's go. So the first thing it's talking about is adding. You can add by typing in equal sum, clicking on the function and clicking on the what you want on top of it, or you could just come up here, hit the sum sign, and it'll select everything on top for you. There is also a sum sign if you go to formulas. There's also a sum sign right here that you could click. And then this one is a special one. It's wanting sum if the amounts are less than 100, add them. So we're gonna hit equals sum if, whoops, and then it wants the range. So the range is what's above it, and then the criteria, it's less than 100, and then you could just hit enter. And 160 it says, 50 plus 50, that's 100, 40 and 20, that's 60, so that's correct. There's some more information down here too, but I won't be covering that today. I just want to do the basics. So this is autofill, and it's saying autofill is in the corner right here. There's also autofill if you come up here, go back to home. Autofill you can also find right here. If you hit down, then you could see it copied that, but it's a lot faster if you just do it the way that it's suggesting. You can also hit Control R and it does it, and Control D would do it right here. Control D for down, Control R for right. So right here, this is talking about splitting data from right here into here. So it wants us to type in the names. So I'll type in Nancy, Andy, and it sees what I'm trying to do already, so it wants me just to press enter, and that's flash fill. And then it wants me to do the same over here, so north, enter, and it sees what I'm trying to do already. Control E is a shortcut for it, so down to the next one. Okay, so it wants us to copy. So Control C is the shortcut for copying. Control V is the shortcut for pasting, but it wants us to paste it as a transpose. So what transpose basically does is it flips the columns and the rows. So now the bread, donuts, cookies, cakes, and pies are now rows instead of columns. So the sort and filter is at the top near editing. So you just highlight the row that you want, and you could select filter for it. So it wants us to filter the department option from A to Z. So sort A to Z. And then it wants us to do December, largest to smallest. And then Control A to select all cells. And then it's basically telling us to add the filter in, which we already did. And it doesn't want the bakery cells, so the bakery now won't show up if we filter it out. And then we could clear the filter too. So it wants us to insert a table for this one. So we do that. It's telling us if we hit enter and type in something else here, then enter, it'll add in a new row automatically. And then we could select this thing and drag it. It'll add in 2 new columns. If we don't want this row anymore, we could just drag it up and delete that. And then if we don't want these, we could just drag it. It'll delete them. Okay, this one it wants us to add in a data validation. So data validation is going to be in data, and then data tools, data validation right here. And then it wants a list. Like that. And now whenever we come down here, we can quickly select one of those 3 options, but we can't type in any other thing. Like say if I try to type in red, it won't let me unless if I add it to the data validation. So it wants us to click the cells and then click this and add in data bars for it. So it's a quick way to add in your formats. You can also come up here, add in, not that one, conditional formatting. If you come up here, you could also add in the data bars up here too. So it wants us to insert a recommended chart here. And then it wants us, with the chart that we inserted, to insert a trend line. So for anything that you want to insert to a chart, it's going to be in add chart elements. Like if I wanted the labels. But a trend line it wants, so and it's just a linear trend line. My last video, I didn't really cover pivot tables too well. I think this one helps you. So how you insert a pivot table in the first place is just come here, insert pivot table, and then it'll ask you like where you want it and stuff. So they already have done that. Pivot tables right here. What they want us to do with it is just right click show fields, and they want us to add in a new field, salesperson, and then remove product from it like what it had before. And then once we close that out, now we can see who sold the most easily, which is Anne. This is pretty easy to tell that she sold the most already because it's only 6 fields. But if you're working with 100+ fields, then pivot tables are really nice for that. And that is the whole tutorial. I hope you learned something from this if you're new. Excel is kind of tricky to work with at the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's really nice. I would recommend that you do this tutorial yourself if you're starting out, and probably do the whole thing of it, not just the gist, what I did, like actually read down here, because there is good information, good vocab terms and stuff. Thank you for watching the video, and until next time, it's 2 Hats Excel.